Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com, how to make your own colored wood stain. Now, wood stains are available commercially in a variety of different colors, and you can get some really great results with these stains. But for most small arts and crafts type DIY projects, we don't need a whole quart of wood stain, and I wanted to come up with a way of just quickly converting some conventional stain and ending up with some results that were nice, vivid colors that I can use on a variety of different craft projects. So anyway, I did a little bit of experimenting. I'm going to start out with just a natural colored wood stain. I'm going to use that as the base. And I'm going to experiment with 3 different colors here, but you could do this with any colors you wanted. I'm going to mix these with a little bit of craft paint, and this is a oil-based paint, the color of your choice. It doesn't take much paint mixed in with that stain, so 4, 5, 6 drops of paint seems to give it enough color, and you can play around with the amount of paint that you're going to add to each color. Of course, the more paint you add into the mix, the darker the stain is going to be. What I wanted to end up with is colored stains that would allow me to stain some wood projects rather than painting them, because I did want to still see the wood grain through the stain. So the first test, after just mixing up a little batch, is the yellow. Just painted that on, and just like any other stain, I had prepped this wood a little bit. I sanded it all off, I think with a 220 grit sandpaper. Now this is the green. I added less paint into the green, and you see how light it is. Still a nice effect. It just depends on what you want to end up with. Now, that was a little bit too light for what I was thinking, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of the paint into the mix, and you get a darker stain. Now, just like any stain, you let the stain soak in for a few minutes, 10 minutes, or however long you want it, and then you wipe it off either with a rag or with a paper towel. This is the last sample test with the mixing of oil-based paint in with the natural colored stain as the base. And then I wiped them all down, and really was very pleased with the results. Colors are nice and vivid. You could still see the wood grain through, so it's not like paint. And certainly on some projects, you wouldn't want the paint to ever peel. And it really enhances, I think, a lot of projects using stain rather than paint. Now, those are the 3 samples that I did with the oil-based paint and the wood stain. I did want to try using a latex or a water-soluble paint and the same wood stain. I didn't think I'd have as good results because, number one, the water-soluble paint should not mix with this stain. They're just not usually compatible. But what I found is if you mix it long enough, and I'm not talking about an extended period of time, just a few minutes of rigorously stirring it, that stain does actually get enough of the blue, in this case the blue pigmentation, into it, so that when you apply it to the wood, it does drag some of that color into the wood, and it does act as a stain. I was actually very pleased with this concoction. So I'm going to paint it on. I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a paper towel. So basically, after experimenting with these different colors and different mixtures, I found out that it's very easy to create your own colors using just a base of a natural wood stain, and you can do it either with oil-based paint or with water-based paint. Now this is just a sample of using that exact same technique on one of my recent do-it-yourself craft projects. This is a St. Patrick's Day leprechaun, and I wanted him to have a pretty red beard, so I just mixed up a little bit of oil-based paint in with that stain and created a very, very dark, very nice red stain. It really worked out well for this particular project. I did the exact same thing with this leprechaun's hat. I wanted the hat to be a green, and I mixed up some green paint, and stained the hat green. But take a look at the beard. You can still see some of that wood grain right through the red. Certainly looks a lot better than paint would have looked. And the green, I did it a little bit lighter, but again, it just gave a very, very nice effect. You can have the color that you want, and you can still see the beautiful grain in the wood that the object is carved from. And these are the samples that I created while I was experimenting. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. By all means, check us out on the web and check out our other how-to videos. Thank you.